Wagner with Versatile Inspirations, au natural today. I'm actually having some issues with allergies, and so my eyes are all itchy and runny, and so if I put makeup on, it would just run right down my face. So the show must go on, so I get to be au natural today. So today we are going to be learning about Archangel Jeremiel. Now, just to give you a little bit of information first, there wasn't a lot of information out there about Archangel Jeremiel. He's not a really well-known archangel, although you can find bits and pieces about him. There's just not a lot of information. So let's get started and we'll learn a little bit about Archangel Jeremiel. Fabulous. All right, let's get to know Archangel Jeremiel. So his name actually means mercy of God. And interestingly enough, the Jewish texts have him as one of the 7 core archangels. You might not be able to see that with that 7 in the way. It was fine until, of course, we started working. So he also helps us plan for positive change. So if you know that you're going to be going through change, it's actually really wonderful to call upon Archangel Jeremiel, because he can instill a positive change, and not just a change, but a positive one. So a change is scary for a lot of people, and I think it's because of the unknown, because we are so in tune to doing things a certain way. A lot of us feel we're in our comfort zone when things go about the same routine. My husband actually is one of those people. He loves to have a routine. He doesn't like anything to really mess with that routine, and he calls it homeostasis. And so he likes to have a routine, and anything to change, even a lunch item, if you can believe that, will actually just kind of jar his day a little. Not too terribly bad, especially if it's a good thing that he likes, but he does like that sense of stability, that sense of repeat. This is how I do things, and I like it that way. But life is about change, and so when we know that something is coming up, or we feel like there's something coming up, if we can call on Archangel Jeremiel to help with moving forward with a change, he can actually help us to have a positive reaction to that change, and a positive change altogether. So just call on him if you're experiencing that at all. He's wonderful to work with. He's believed to help people with prophetic visions. So if you have, or would like to have, prophetic visions, if you'd like to see into the future, maybe channel some events that are coming up and just get some visions on what might be happening, then call on Archangel Jeremiel. He will help you facilitate those channeled prophetic visions so that you can get a handle on what's coming up. He also helps us deal with emotions. If we're having some issues with emotions, one that he really works with is forgiveness. And forgiveness, it's great to say, but to actually follow through with that forgiveness is sometimes hard. There again, it's not only change, but it's the letting go of that emotion that triggers us. And so being able to free ourselves really from that stress that we may feel with not being able to forgive and move on. So working with Archangel Jeremiel with any kind of emotions is just wonderful. He will help to put a positive spin on any of the emotions that we're feeling, even if it's anger or resentment. Just work with him, and he will help to lessen that load for you. assists in taking inventory of our lives to help in facilitating forgiveness. Now, a lot of people say that, you go through an inventory when you pass or transition from this stage of life to the next, but we don't have to wait that long. A lot of times when we get into our 30s, 40s, 50s, we have a tendency to look back and take on almost like a checklist or an inventory of what we've gone through in our life. A lot of times we'll need to forgive ourselves, we'll need to forgive others so that we are free to move forward. And with that, you can call on Archangel Jeremiel. He will help you go through the inventory checklist that you may have so that you can see what it is that you have done and be able to forgive yourself and others easily and effortlessly with working with Archangel Jeremiel so that you can move forward with your life stress-free. He's also associated with the color reddish purple. So if you are working with Archangel Jeremiel, you may see reddish purple come up in your life a lot, whether it's a flower, whether it is a fabric, you see that reddish purple color, or you may even just see the brilliant lights of Archangel Jeremiel just radiating. A lot of times we'll see it in our third eye, our vision, in our mind's eye, but a lot of times it will be shown, especially if you're working with an archangel a lot, you will actually see the twinkling of the archangel that you're working with. Sometimes it just happens, it really does. And if you do see that reddish purple color, then you know you're working with Archangel Jeremiel. All right, we'll stop the share, and there's just a couple other ways that we can work with Archangel Jeremiel that I found. The Archangel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. There's that. And the first one is Overcoming Difficulties. And it says, the worst is now behind you and are surmounting any previous challenges. That's wonderful. And the next one is Life Review, of course. Take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced. Remember, just call on Archangel Jeremiel. You don't have to do a whole ritual or anything, but you sure can if you want to, or if you feel like you'd like to. Light a candle, say a prayer, but it can be as easy as just asking, please, Archangel Jeremiel, please come and help me with this situation. And he'll be right there with you. Next, all is well. Everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to. With hidden blessings, you will soon understand. It's a great one. And the next one is that I found the Archangel Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. And this one is number 20, Renewal. It says, review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts. Time to move in a new direction. And there was just a little more that I wanted to read out of the book because I really find that it's helpful. Additional meanings, a landmark decision, a career or job change, moving in a different direction, and a new beginning. So even when we're facilitating that change can come as a new beginning. And so it's a positive, wonderful change, especially when you work with Archangel Jeremiel. He'll just help to facilitate that and make sure that all goes well and everything is working as it should. It also says Jeremiel is the archangel who helps you evaluate your life so you can clearly decide upon appropriate changes. Spend some time alone with a pad of paper and pen and call upon Jeremiel to help you review what needs to be transformed, healed, or released. And that's a wonderful time actually for releasing. If you work with the new moon, you can actually help to release the old and welcome in new. And it would be a wonderful time to call on Archangel Jeremiel for that. Also, another thing that I've found works really well is scents. Scents, SCENTS, is actually something that helps trigger an emotion or helps to trigger a feeling, or it helps to facilitate the work that we want to do with an archangel or ascended master or another divine being or someone else in spirit, or any of the other creatures, or the trees, anything. So working with essential oils is really wonderful. Now, because it's Jeremiel and he helps to facilitate change, but he also helps to facilitate forgiveness on our end, whether it's for ourselves or if it's for someone else. But doTERRA has a wonderful oil. It's called Forgive. And it is a wonderful grounding, very, it almost smells like green. To me, it smells like green. It smells like grassy herbs and things that you would find out in the field. It just smells wonderfully balancing and grounding all at the same time. And for forgiveness, we really have to go within and we really have to connect in our deepest level in order to be able to release that and to be able to completely forgive. Now, at that time, what I haven't been talking about, what I probably should have, is working with the transpersonal energy system, which is our chakra system in full and complete, but focusing on the main chakras, not only within our energetic body, but outside our energetic body. Grounding into the Earth Star chakra, which is about 3 to 6 inches below our feet, into the Earth's crest, and then going all the way to the stellar gateway, which is about 14 to 16 inches above the top of your head. Now, when we do that, we are complete and total grounding mode. We are completely and totally grounded from the cosmos, which we are spirit, and with the earth, since we are a manifestation of our spirit self here on earth, we want to make sure that we're grounded. And a lot of people will ground only into the earth, but that's just one level. We are actually spiritual beings having a physical experience. And so our spiritual being needs to be grounded as well. When we do that, when we connect to the Earth Star chakra and down into the earth, Mother Gaia, and out into the cosmos, into the divine, into the spirit, into the stellar gateway chakra, then we are able to be completely and totally grounded from our physical to our spiritual being. With that, it's easier to work with the archangels. It's easier to work with divine beings because we are completely grounded. It's easier to hear them. It's easier to sense them. It is easier to work with forgiveness as well. Because we are completely and totally grounded, we are going inside and making sure that we are stable and that the release is easy and effortless. Working with the divine, Archangel Jeremiel, and just having that essential oil just helps to place you in that place of forgiveness and that place of being wholly supported, divinely supported for that release. There again, it's a change, and sometimes with change, it feels a little awkward, or we don't want to completely release something. And so we hold on to a little bit of that energy, and it's not beneficial. It just seems to grow upon itself, even that little bit of energy. And we need to just release it and let it all go. And working with Forgive by doTERRA is a wonderful way to be able to not only ground, but to instill that complete and total release easily and effortlessly. The other one that I found would work with being able to work with Archangel Jeremiel because he works with emotions, and because some of the emotions are just charged energy, just charged energy that feels like it's going to explode out of you. Serenity is a wonderful smell. It actually is a light smell. It is, to me, serenity is magical because of it's an airy smell, but it's also very grounding. It's a wonderful, wonderful smell to work with. And so being able to kind of balance our moods, being able to work with Archangel Jeremiel to help us balance those, especially if we're feeling anger, rage, even with change, maybe we don't want it and we're just really kind of feeling like we're being forced, and so it makes us a little upset or angry. Working with serenity, that's doTERRA Serenity, is fabulous. It's just a wonderful thing to work with also. So those are quite a few ways to work with Archangel Jeremiel. There again, you can work with any of the archangels by working with the essential oils of myrrh and frankincense and things like that, because they're very biblical fragrances. They're very spicy and woodsy, but they are very spirit driven, and those things have decades and decades and decades of being associated with the Bible and with divine beings. And so working with those it's one way that you can work with any of the archangels, including Archangel Jeremiel. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today, even though I'm au naturel. And I hope you learned a little bit about Archangel Jeremiel so that you can move forward and work with him as well. So send me an email if you'd like at Tracy, Tracy, at versatileinspirations.com, or visit me on the web at tracyunawagner.com or versatileinspirations.com. Thank you again for spending time with me today. I truly appreciate it. I look forward to hearing from you. And until next time, I'm sending you and yours love, light, and eternal blessings. Take care.